Something strange is happening at the very top of the NBA conversation, and it's unfolding in real time. LeBron James, widely considered one of the greatest basketball icons in history, has found himself in the middle of a media firestorm, one that might just reveal more about sports coverage than the public ever expected. Critics and fans alike are buzzing with questions. Why are big names like Stephen A. Smith and Kendrick Perkins so bent on challenging LeBron's every word? How did a simple statement about sports commentary spiral into personal attacks and emotional outbursts? By the end of this story, you might never look at your favorite analysts or even your favorite players the same way again. Setting the stage, LeBron James is no stranger to the limelight. For over 2 decades, his name has been synonymous with championship aspirations, staggering stat lines, and a near-constant swirl of media attention. On the court, he orchestrates seemingly impossible plays and leaves fans in awe. But off the court, he's also proven himself to be an articulate voice on social issues, often pushing boundaries and starting conversations that leave some commentators uncomfortable. That tension between athlete and analyst isn't new. After all, the sports talk circuit thrives on strong opinions. Yet, in recent years, the relationship between the biggest NBA stars and the top commentators has grown more fraught than ever. Social media only intensifies it. Whether it's a tweet, an Instagram post, or a leaked phone call, one spark can set off a chain reaction. And LeBron's latest remarks on how the league is covered were precisely that spark, an incendiary moment that thrust multiple TV personalities into the spotlight, some for the wrong reasons.
Kendrick Perkins says a negative word about LeBron James, and LeBron James blocks Kendrick Perkins.
Unfollow me.
Unfollowed you. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Unfollowed
hey, Stephen A.
you. Okay.
Hey, Stephen A. But let me say this to you. He unfollowed me, and then I blocked him on my cell phone. My last thing, and I'm glad y'all brought up the Mind the Game podcast. And the one thing I will say, sharing the locker room with LeBron James, being LeBron James' teammate, being in McDonald's All-American, all that, he is one of the brightest basketball minds I've ever been around. Okay, you lose J.J. Redick, and then you go out and get Steve Nash. I would never question Steve Nash's IQ or his intelligence when it comes down to the game of basketball. But Richard Jefferson just got hired as on our A team to cover the NBA Finals. He's smart as hell. Shannon Fry, who won the championship with LeBron James, who does NBA TV, he's intelligent as hell. Phil Handy, who LeBron James won 2 championships with, who's now doing his own thing, he's intelligent as hell. Hell, Draymond Green. Well, I know Draymond Green ruffled the feathers, but no one could ever question his basketball mind or his basketball IQ. He's smart as hell. So what I'm getting at is, why none of those guys, LeBron? These are your guys? Why none of those guys are on Mind the Game? But stop it. LeBron James needs to stop. He needs to stop. I'm so sick of him with this, how the league is covered, because he wanted to be covered a certain way that he wants it to be covered. See, again, this is what it comes down to with LeBron.
The comments that lit the fuse. A few weeks back, LeBron openly questioned the nature of current NBA coverage. He hinted that some analysts focus less on the pure sport and more on sensational headlines, particularly those that paint top players in a negative light. Though he didn't call anyone out by name, it didn't take long for the usual suspects to take offense. The sports world thrives on debate, and these remarks were red meat for a pack of commentators looking to drive viewer engagement with bold, sensational takes. In no time, Stephen A. Smith picked up on LeBron's words during an episode of First Take, dissecting them as though they were personal barbs. Around the same time, Brian Windhorst also chimed in, leading to a swirl of commentary about whether LeBron was singling out certain shows for focusing on him more than the game itself. Fans on social media ate it up, flooding Twitter threads, podcasts, and fan forums with theories about whether LeBron was calling out the media. The stage was now set for a major confrontation. Stephen A. Smith's fiery reaction. Stephen A. Smith has built a career on speaking passionately, no matter how controversial his viewpoint may be. He's known for going on rants that ignite both supporters and critics, prompting fans to tune in just to see what he'll say next. In typical Stephen A. fashion, he fired back at LeBron with unfiltered commentary. At one point, though, he seemed to veer into uncharted territory, calling out personal details about LeBron that many felt had nothing to do with the game of basketball. In his rush to deliver a headline-worthy rant, Stephen A. mentioned that LeBron didn't attend Kobe Bryant's memorial service, implying some sort of failure on LeBron's part to show respect. It was a striking moment on live television, powerful, but as it turned out, shockingly inaccurate. Within hours, fans across social media started posting proof that LeBron had indeed been present. Whether the cameras captured every moment or not, multiple sources confirmed his attendance. Realizing his slip, Stephen A. quickly addressed the matter online, posting an apology and clarification. In a tweet that spread like wildfire, he admitted to misspeaking about LeBron's attendance. Even so, he refused to retract his broader criticism, emphasizing that it was never the main point of his argument. But for fans, this felt like more proof that some commentators would latch onto any angle, no matter how personal or off-base, to jab at a star athlete. Kendrick Perkins enters the fray. If Stephen A. Smith's reaction was hot, Kendrick Perkins' take was scorching. Perkins, who once shared a locker room with LeBron, weighed in with commentary that took the discourse to an even more personal level. During a segment, he made a puzzling remark tying LeBron's decision to work with certain podcast hosts, who happened to be white, to an apparent snub of former black teammates or colleagues. At first glance, this seemed disconnected from the original issue, LeBron's frustration with sensationalized coverage. However, fans quickly noted how Perkins framed the discussion, fueling speculation about hidden biases or double standards in the basketball world. Some viewed Perkins' words as unfairly suggesting a racial angle where none existed. Others believed he was raising a point about supporting peers who share your background, especially in an industry that can feel skewed or exclusive. Things escalated when Perkins claimed he'd blocked LeBron's number after LeBron supposedly unfollowed him on social media. It was the kind of personal drama that normally stays behind closed doors, but Perkins openly aired it, feeding the public's fascination. Suddenly, the conversation shifted from whether sports media is too negative to a more intimate portrait of ex-teammates turned adversaries, each feeling slighted by the other's actions. LeBron's surprising clapback. LeBron isn't typically one to roll over quietly when attacked. He's cultivated a social media presence that can be subtle, witty, and sometimes scathing. After Perkins hinted that their personal connection had broken down, LeBron fired back in a way nobody saw coming. He posted alleged proof that Perkins had actually called him multiple times at odd hours, like a friend who claims to be done with you, yet can't stop blowing up your phone. Fans on Instagram and Twitter roared with laughter, comments, and memes. For LeBron supporters, it was sweet vindication, demonstrating Perkins' hypocrisy. For others, it was a sign of how quickly professional disagreements can turn personal, with each new screenshot pouring lighter fluid on an already blazing story. But it also highlighted the main point that LeBron had made from the beginning. The media, and sometimes even ex-teammates, are willing to focus on personal controversies over actual basketball accomplishments. Instead of analyzing offensive systems, defensive adjustments, or career legacies, entire segments were now dedicated to the petty side of the star's life. In a strange way, LeBron had played the media at their own game, drawing attention to the very sort of sensational coverage he'd criticized. The media circus intensifies. As if Stephen A. and Perkins weren't enough, other commentators began jumping in. The Pat McAfee show, for instance, showcased LeBron's earlier comments, and fans dissected each phrase to see if there were hidden jabs at ESPN personalities. Social media lit up with fresh waves of speculation, with hashtags trending late into the night. Speculative YouTubers and gossip websites took it a step further, suggesting that certain on-air personalities felt overshadowed by LeBron's monumental star power and used these controversies to stay relevant. Some rumors claimed that production teams behind the scenes were stoking the fires to boost ratings. Others insisted that everything was genuine animosity built up over years of perceived disrespect. Even Richard Jefferson and Channing Frye, both former teammates of LeBron, were dragged into discussions, with fans asking why they weren't included in any new LeBron ventures if he was looking for smart basketball minds. Of course, that conversation looped back to Perkins' comments about race, spurring a fresh wave of arguments online about where loyalties should lie. The lines between rumor and fact grew blurrier by the day. Fan reactions and online speculation. The internet loves drama almost as much as it loves basketball, and this conflict delivered in spades. Some supporters of Stephen A. Smith argued that commentary is his job, and that if players can't handle criticism, they shouldn't watch. LeBron loyalists countered that criticism is fair game, but personal attacks and falsehoods cross a line. Within hours of each new statement, you'd find Twitter threads thousands of posts long, with fans dissecting every angle. Others zeroed in on the sudden mention of race, speculating about deeper tensions that might exist behind the scenes. Could Perkins have felt overlooked by LeBron in some larger business or media opportunity? Were there unwritten rules about supporting black journalists and ex-players in sports media? No one had definite answers, but the swirl of reports claim and rumors suggest kept the pot boiling. Some fans speculated that Stephen A's slip-up about Kobe Bryant's memorial was no accident. They believed he was specifically trying to craft a narrative that LeBron was disrespectful, leveraging a deeply emotional moment in NBA history for maximum shock value. Others saw it as an honest mistake, pointing to Stephen A walking back his words live on air as soon as he realized the error. High-stakes tension, personal versus public. The drama soon reached a tipping point where people questioned, is this really about basketball coverage anymore? It seemed the narrative had drifted far from LeBron's original critique that coverage focuses too much on sensational headlines. Instead, the saga became about cancelled friendships, blocked phone numbers, and whether or not certain teammates deserved a seat at LeBron's table. Stephen A. Smith, feeling cornered, brought up more personal details, like LeBron missing Dwyane Wade's Hall of Fame induction, while acknowledging that LeBron was dealing with serious family matters involving his son. Many viewers found it distasteful to drag such personal, sensitive issues onto national TV, especially when the core debate was about how analysts approached the game. For LeBron, it was further evidence that the media was more than happy to pick apart his private life the moment he criticized them. The bigger picture, athletes versus media. What does this whole saga say about the state of sports media? Some argue that it merely reflects how competitive the industry has become. With so many platforms vying for viewer attention, the bigger and more dramatic the controversy, the more eyeballs tune in. Analysts like Stephen A. Smith have become stars in their own right, household names whose job security often hinges on delivering big takes that stir conversation. Others see a deeper issue at play, a power struggle. Athletes like LeBron, with massive social media followings, no longer need the traditional sports media gatekeepers to get their message out. They can speak directly to fans through Instagram, Twitter, or their own podcasts. This shift in influence can threaten established talking heads who made their reputation by holding the microphone and shaping public perception. Now, the players can challenge them openly and provide receipts to prove their side. That tension might explain why critics pounce so aggressively on LeBron's comments. It also underscores why LeBron was able to respond in the way he did, posting screenshots and videos all in real time. Whether you agree with LeBron or not, his ability to control the narrative is unprecedented, and that might be exactly what unsettles some traditional media figures. Speculative twists and lingering questions. Rumors still abound. Some fans whisper that this controversy could eventually lead to a sit-down, face-to-face conversation, maybe on a new platform, between LeBron, Stephen A. and Perkins. Would they be civil? Would they hash out the real reasons behind their tense words? No one knows for sure, and right now, the speculation alone is enough to generate entire news cycles. Others wonder if ESPN itself might step in. After all, the network has a vested interest in managing public perception. Perpetual feuds with top athletes can get messy, especially for an organization that wants to maintain insider status with star players. Could there be behind-the-scenes negotiations to cool things down, or is this controversy exactly the kind of storyline that networks thrive on? Fans remain divided. On one hand, many believe that coverage has become too much about gossip and not enough about the artistry of the sport. On the other, some see the drama as part of the modern NBA experience. The bigger the personalities, the bigger the entertainment value.